we take this much needed breath together. One of the gifts that we've been talking about singing is that you do have to breathe to be able to sing. And it has been such a gift. I feel like it has saved me so many times, because I know in times of stress and duress and heartache, I feel that kind of grief and I feel it all in my chest, and I really feel like I forget to breathe. I know I do, but it's very shallow. So we thought we'd begin just letting ourselves sing together a nigun, no words necessary, as we get ourselves situated. Many words as we'll share tonight, and as many melodies for this time that we're together, there is nothing that is bringing more healing to my heart right now than to look around this Zoom room and to see your faces. It is just so moving to me. This is the healing I know that so many of us were craving since yesterday. So let's sing it one more time. Da 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 ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ya da da
Yesterday, we witnessed the desecration of sacred space. While America's democracy, is that me? Am I creating that reverb? No, okay. While America's democracy has never been perfect, it has been an ideal to which we aspire. And this democracy has allowed the Jewish community to thrive as part of the larger society in a way unprecedented in our thousands-year history. As a minority, we have never been unaware of our country's imperfections and biases. But because of our communal acceptance of the idea of tikkun olam, the foundational belief that any human's sacred endeavor is to be constantly moving towards a more just society, rather than assuming they can perfect it. We've been able to live with the juxtaposition of our high ideals our society espoused and the failures we have witnessed in its history. We could live with them because we could accept that they were our responsibility to fix. But yesterday we witnessed something that shook us to our core, that shook me to my core. I saw people whose beliefs stand in opposition to the right of the equality under the law for all people attack the sanctuary of that belief. And for the first time in my life, I understood what it was we do as a community on Tisha B'Av when we memorialize the desecration of a temple. Because yesterday felt like what my grandmother would have called a kick in the kishkas, in my guts. It was a gut punch to watch people wearing anti-Semitic and anti-Black symbols take over the Capitol and wave the Confederate flag, the symbol of our country's near collapse. And so I felt, I think, the way the ancients felt when they witnessed the destruction of the center of their beliefs. But their wisdom reached out to me through the generations. They knew that the tradition could hold their grief at what they witnessed. They knew that it was sacred to call out that grief, to name that grief, to speak that brokenness, because it was only through the acknowledgement of it that we could move through it. Tonight's service will solve nothing because we are not here to solve. But we are here to name, to cry out, to lean into each other and community and reach out across the divides of space and acknowledge that we are not alone, that our voices are stronger together, that when we hold out hope and ideals, we can face the brokenness as well. We start our service this evening naming that brokenness using the words of our ancient tradition, Echa, alas, alas, we call out, look at this moment we have reached. Alas, our hearts break, Echa. Alas, it's such a silly word and yet such a powerful act to look at it and say, it is broken. By saying it is broken, we acknowledge that we will be the ones to fix it. We start out with our ancient words of wisdom, of brokenness, so that we can live in that place together and walk towards a different place together.
Taken from the Psalms, by the waters of Babylon, we laid down and wept for thee, Zion. By the waters of Babylon, we lay down and wept for thee, Zion. We remember
as Beth said, as your faces populated this screen, I took a breath because we weren't alone. Because each of you chose this evening to step in, to express yourselves and listen to the expression of others. Because this community, and it just so happens that on my screen, my Zoom box is next to Rabbi Rim's Zoom box and Beth's Zoom box. I don't know what layout you are looking at, but this community for 36 years under the incredible leadership of Rim and Beth has learned the power of showing up, not of offering answers, not of trite sayings, but of coming in moments of joy, in moments of sadness, and being present in holiness for one another. There is a saying, Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar me'ot. All the world is a very narrow bridge. The ha'ikar, and the main thing, the tradition says, lo lefached klal. Now that's been mistranslated over the years. The translation has always, or when I learned the translation, it was, the main thing is not to be afraid. But that's a terrible translation, if you ask me, because sorry, it is, because the fact of the matter is we are afraid and there is what to fear. But the main thing, says Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, is not to ignore the fear. It's not to let the fear take charge. It's not to be so swamped by the fear that you can't act from the other places of wholeness that are equally available to you. To be afraid, Audrey, you're completely right, is human. The question is, how do we acknowledge that fear and refuse to hand it the steering wheel? The answer, I think this community has learned in its 36 years is not to be alone, is to lean in, is to show up 59 screens on 4 hours notice deep and say, I am here with you. I am here and I believe as you believe that there is sacredness and that our job is to unearth it. I believe in you, we say. And so we offer these words, Kol ha'olam kulo.
I don't know where it is.
All the world is indeed a very narrow bridge. And many of us are afraid. But we are not to be swamped by that fear. We are to acknowledge that fear and acknowledge the wholeness within us as a community. And together we will find that strength.
Kol ha'olam kulo. I'm just going to ask everyone, just make sure you are muted. There's somebody who has come unmuted. Just check your box. I can't find who it is. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar me'od gesher tsar me'od gesher tsar me'od kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar me'od גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם כולו, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. And let's breathe in that strength of togetherness together. Here we go. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. So I'm just-
Senator-elect, oh, go ahead, Beth, sorry.
No, you go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Senator-elect and Reverend Warnock, and for Senator-elect, reminded us of the verse from Psalm 30, that though we may weep in the morning, or in the evening, surely there will be joy and rejoicing in the morning. We know this as a community. We know that the power of holding out hope, even in the darkest times, is incredible. We know that we can call one another when our hope wavers and see and hear and listen and ask for the lending of light and breath. We know that in the darkest moments, the dawn is yet to come. We can see that things will be better. We can imagine better. I just said, Senator-elect Warnock, we are sending to the Senate a Black man and a Jewish man from the state of Georgia, and that's no small feat. We should not ignore what happened yesterday, but we should make room for all of what happened yesterday. Miraculous things happened yesterday, as well as horrible things happening yesterday. But in the dawn, light comes, and we are a community who over 2,000 years, 3,000 years of history, depending on when you want to count our history back to, we have seen the unbelievable happen. We have walked out of slavery to freedom, and we have held that memory of freedom in times of exile, only to see rebirths unimaginable. When we believe in light and good and hope, we act from those beliefs, and we make it possible for the world to truly become what we need it to be. There were horrible things that happened yesterday. And there were miraculous things that happened yesterday as well. Let us make room for the glimmer of light. Let us hold that glimmer of light. Let us plant it in our hearts and in the heart of our community and all that we teach I see Nolan here listening to us sing. Let us look at Nolan and say, we believe that love and light and justice will prevail.
Really sing this one out. Night cannot drive out the night, only light, only light. Night cannot drive out the night, only light, only light. Oh, 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 War cannot end all these wars, only peace, only peace. War cannot end all these wars, only peace, only peace. Oh, 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 Hate cannot end all this hate, only love, only love. Hate cannot end all this hate, only love, only love. Oh, 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 עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן, אמן, Thank you for your presence here. Thank you for your names in your Zoomicals, for your faces, for Daniel, for you being here. It's so wonderful to see you on the couch with your mom. And just before we begin to think of letting each other go, just look around, whether you're on Facebook or you're here in the Zoomical with us. Breathe in that you are not alone, that we are here together, that we will do this work together. We are so strong. We are so strong. Rabbi Carey, thank you for your amazing words. Amazing words. Just strengthened us all. And why don't we, as is our custom now on Zoom, feel free to unmute, and we can just put in chat whatever you